Jeff Bezos' housekeeper, real-life Power Rangers, and yet another billionaire interruption. Today on Good Work. Hello, workers of the world, and welcome to Good Work, a roundtable discussion about the world of working. Working is a major part of our lives, so we should talk about it. I'm James Mastriani.
I'm Matt Newell.
And I'm Jake Lloyd Bacon, and we are writers, comedians, performers, entertainers here in Los Angeles.
City of Angels.
Not your higher educated political types. That's our disclaimer. That's just our little fun disclaimer at the front. This is a yuck show.
Yeah, it also means we can say whatever we want.
Yeah.
We never have to be correct.
That's right. We have no we have no credibility to be taken away.
That's the most important
We can't
thing.
discredit the uncreditable.
Set the bar really low. That's what I always say. Lower your standards. Big show this week. After the break, second half of the show, we're going to talk all about last week's election. Obviously, midterm elections, huge news. But before we get to that, it's time to talk about the news. First little piece of news this week comes from the chief out of New York City. New York City Council cancels plan for mandatory in-person work after staffers revolt. Oh, you love to see it. After receiving pushback from staff represented by the Association of Legislative Employees, which is the New York City Council union. After receiving pushback from them, the city council leadership informed employees that they were scrapping a plan that would have ordered central staffers to work in person full time starting this month, starting in November. Division directors and managers will still be required to come into the office every day, but other staffers can maintain the status quo, which is currently the option of a hybrid schedule that requires them to work on site only 3 days a week. Union members held an informational picket outside of City Hall during their lunch break to shed light on the situation, and workers celebrated the council's decision while insisting that more work still needed to be done. Here's a quote. Today we received some good news, which really points to the importance of organized workers coming together to raise their voices collectively through a union, says Daniel Krupp, ALE's president. I'm glad to see that the speaker, referring to Adrienne Adams in New York City, the speaker has softened her position and has already decided that for central staff, there will be that continued flexibility. But we also have had as one of our core demands to make sure that everyone in our union, and I'm talking about the council member aides, has the same hybrid flexibility. So Speaker Adrienne Adams says, everybody back to work in the office. And, the union says, that's ridiculous. We no longer need to do this. We are still in the middle of a pandemic. COVID is not over. And when we talked about the remote workforce here a ton of times on the show, like at this point, unless your job is like an active, physical, hands-on thing. If you can't zoom in to work as a mechanic, obviously.
You can't zoom in to catch vermin.
Right. Yes. Or to build something, or to, but
cook food or
yes.
Mm-hmm. Massage food.
Did you say massage food? Is that what you said?
You got to tenderize your meat, and that's not a euphemism, you sick fucks. Okay?
Jeez Louise, man. Coming out hot. So yeah, I mean, it's a step in the right direction. Of course, the city council, they met him in the middle where they said, well, all right, not everybody has to come in, but the aides still have to come in, and it's a step in the right direction.
I mean, it also just shows they were able to do it, right?
Yeah.
So it's it just shows it's not this, they can't, for so many of these jobs, they can't
keep
possibly
up the facade of
no.
It's like, they can't. We've proven that it still works.
Yeah.
and in some cases it works better. It's more productive.
Absolutely.
I think they're going to see that too with the 4-day work. We talk about this sometimes, but like the 4-day work week's coming. It's coming to America.
Baby.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Coming to America too.
The 4-day work week is coming, and it has to. It has to.
But this, again, it's a victory, albeit a small victory. There's still work to do, but it's another example of how this works. In fact, Krupp says that it was up to the rank and file to affect their desired ends. Quote, "It is the workers themselves coming together, being united, that can move the needle on issues that are important to us like this." So there you have it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I got something. Mine's pretty brief, just in terms of what's in the news here. But this is somebody that we've talked to personally. We've talked a lot about this person.
Oh no!
One of our great, just great billionaire oligarchs, Jeff Bezos, is in the news yet again. He is currently being sued by his former housekeepers.
Ooh.
Specifically, his head housekeeper is suing him because she was forced to have 14-hour shifts with no breaks and no access to a bathroom for housekeepers. This caused her to get multiple urinary tract infections.
Oh my God.
And in order to go to a bathroom on multiple occasions, she was forced to climb out of a window from the laundry room to the outside so that she could pee outside like an animal.
What the fuck is happening, Jeff Bezos?
What is wrong with this little piece of shit?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, so this is his private residence, right?
Correct.
You have to assume this giant McMansion that has, there's probably a bathroom every 14 feet, my guess would be. But
that's one of the arguments is there's bathrooms all over the place.
But they were not
I'm sure.
allowed to use them.
They were not allowed. They were not allowed to use a bathroom in the house.
I want to take a shit on him so bad.
I know. While also working 14 hours straight. Like, that's fucking crazy.
I mean,
also, why do you need a housekeeper 14 hours? Like,
how dirty are you?
Yeah, how filthy are you? We'll get them like when we're about to move out or something, or like if we have parents coming, like, we got to get this place. But it still doesn't. It takes 2 hours. We don't have.
Also, this is a constant thing with him. It's so weird, right?
What's wrong with
Like, he doesn't like people, like, the whole thing with working at Amazon for years has been like, there's people wearing diapers.
Yeah.
Like bathroom breaks.
Oh
like, what is it, you fucking weirdo, that you won't let human beings use the bathroom?
Astronauts are the only people who should wear diapers.
Do you think do you think that he has like
babies?
You think like he has some like rare disease that we don't know about where like he doesn't urinate? And he's like, if I can't urinate, nobody will.
God.
It's so
what
crazy.
A little fuck.
The sad part is like he'll pay, even if he gives this person $100 million to settle this, drop in the bucket. He's not going to give two shits. It's not going to affect his life in any way, shape, or form.
Did you read? I'm looking at this too. They're forced to pee in bottles. They tried to use the security room.
The security room, you said?
At one point, housekeepers were told to use the bathroom attached to a security room where security guards monitored cameras on the property, but the guards denied them access because it was decided that, this is quote, that housekeepers using the bathroom was a breach of security protocol. What elite fucking Blackwater security thing.
Also, imagine
the housekeepers are like assassins.
The breach of I've never lived in a place and ever thought about what would be a breach of security protocol at my home. Like, what a fucking awful way to live.
I mean, because I do want to shit on him, so I guess there are people out there who probably want to take a big shot on his little bald
But also,
head.
like there's, I mean, in LA here, we're no stranger to people living in disgusting amounts of wealth and seeing firsthand people that have, services and employees that come and like, it's not like these people are a different person every single day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these people probably have been working for him on this property.
It's not strangers walking in.
So you have to assume that all the security guards know all the cleaning people, and they know all the gardeners.
Long game? They're playing the long con here?
Right. You want to know what this is? This is security guards being like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble. If I do this, then I know that Bezos doesn't like that, and I'm going to have to deal with that. These are just a bunch of people who are afraid of Bezos.
I could be, or there just could be, like, super militant asshole security guards too. You know, like, I'm sorry. They're like, get off on telling people where they can and can't go and stuff.
They're wearing camo on like the middle of a sunny day in a white room. Yeah,
I know. Like, dude, you stand out.
Real January Sixers is what we're trying to get at here.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that housekeeper. I hope she gets enough money to retire.
Oh, I mean, sounds like she might be a future employee of the month if she gets that fucking settlement.
Hell yeah.
Man, you just segued into my two stories. I have one about Amazon and we have a new employee of the month. But let's get to that Amazon one first.
How about that?
Speaking of Amazon workers strike in San Bernardino. We're in California, so this is in our neck of the woods here. Hundreds walk out to demand better working conditions, an end to retaliation, and a $5 an hour pay increase, Mr. Bezos. Over 100 Amazon workers in San Bernardino walked off the job on October 14th to demand better working conditions and a $5 an hour wage increase. The move to strike came just 3 days after another Inland Empire Amazon warehouse in Moreno Valley became the first Amazon warehouse in California to file for a union election.
Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah. Does it say what the any of the specifics about the retaliation?
Over the following months, Fee and her coworkers noticed increased surveillance every time they organized petition drives or campaigns. One manager told Fee directly, "You're being watched." Outsiders started showing up, pretending to be Amazon workers and asking Fee for her and her coworkers a lot of questions. Fee calls these people union busters. They've been sending like people to intimidate them. It looks like our security gave them a blue badge when they came to the building. That means you're an Amazon employee. They'd ask about our issues and act like they're there to help. It's pretty sneaky," said Fee. One time I asked them if they were HR and they just avoided the question. At that point, I already knew who they were. I just wanted to see if they'd be truthful, and they weren't.
Right.
So,
got it.
Yeah, they also wanted, higher pay, $5 an hour wage increase because they can't afford to live.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is this is a part of that whole thing is that like they don't want long-term employees at Amazon.
Yeah.
They want the quickest turnaround because there's always a new worker to come and take the place. There's always, another monkey to come push the button.
Right. Yeah.
And this is just a great capitalist tactic of just getting that turnover so that you don't have to worry about the long-term costs of good, decent employment.
Yeah.
Listen to this. And in September, Amazon agreed to pay KSBD. That's the name of that specific warehouse. The that stands for K San Bernardino or something. They agreed to give them a $1 raise an hour. However, when Fee received her paycheck, her first paycheck after that raise, it was lower than her previous paycheck because Amazon had, quote unquote, accidentally doubled the cost of her benefits. She said that has never happened in the entire time I've been there.
Holy
and it just happened to be right after we got a raise. Several of her coworkers had the same problem.
Wow.
Fucking
Man.
what a little
Yeah.
they got fucking they know every fucking way, every way to do it.
Yep. They really do.
To like get back.
They
don't care if it costs them more money.
No.
You know what I mean? Like just to like hire a team of evil geniuses to like figure out how can we kind of needle these people to death.
Just antagonize and because those people need that money to live. Like they've got bills, they've got rent, they've got groceries they've got to buy, and like Amazon the company doesn't have to worry about that shit.
Yeah.
And if for anybody listening that maybe isn't familiar with Amazon's the amount of profit they make off of these employees and think $5 an hour is a lot to ask for. Amazon makes $320,000 a year off of each employee. That's how much money they make per employee per year. Is the amount they're stealing from them.
And also, I'm just a little bit more about this specific warehouse, or just their warehouses in general. Compared to warehouse workers in other companies, Amazon workers receive 15% lower wages and experience double the number of work injuries.
Wow.
So they suffered Amazon workers in the U.S. suffered over 34,000 injuries last year.
Right. Wow.
6 workers died in Illinois after a tornado. So they all walked out on the 14th, and now they're striking. And I hope they
good.
Get everything. They get more. They need more than they're asking for.
Yeah.
Too,
and this was from knockla.com. That's the website that you
Knock LA, but it's been on a couple news. Knock LA, a great
love Knock LA.
Too.
Yeah.
It is now time for Employee of the Month. And this time, it's employees. Okay?
Oh, multiples.
Yeah.
Unprecedented.
Unprecedented. This is, it looks like it's, I'm looking at the picture here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Power Rangers are the Employee of the Month. The Power Rangers. Dressed as Power Rangers, restaurant staff help save woman from attacker. This is in Oakland. The staff at Noko Ramen just wanted to have a fun evening Friday, which is why the crew in Oakland, California donned Power Rangers costume to serve up cocktails and bowls of noodles. But then a woman ran into the restaurant pleading for help, and the superhero snapped into action. This is from the Washington Post, by the way.
Oh, my God.
We were definitely scared, said the manager. His name is Cartoon Fukchampa, who was dressed as the Black Ranger. He told the Washington Post. That fear didn't stop them from channeling the spandex suit-wearing warriors. According to a customer who wrote a detailed account of the Friday on Twitter, a man chased the woman into the restaurant and put her in a chokehold. The Black Ranger and the Yellow Ranger intervened, telling the man to leave, at which point he swung at them. The Yellow Ranger blocked the punch as the distressed woman was told to hide in the kitchen. The man was yelling anti-Asian slurs before trying to dash into the kitchen behind her, according to the customer. But the Yellow Ranger grabbed him by the collar and dragged him out of the restaurant while the man kicked and threw punches. The patrons. This is the customer says, the patrons are shaking and crying. The Pink Power Ranger, the hostess, tells us our food is free.
This is amazing.
The man was eventually taken into custody, according to the Oakland police, who characterizes it as a domestic dispute that involved a man physically assaulting a woman. So it looked like it might have spilled over into the restaurant.
Right.
Took place shortly after 9 p.m. None of the employees were injured, and her staff was... the manager says her staff was able to fend off the man as the woman sheltered in the restaurant.
Man, that's so funny.
The fucking Power Rangers did it. Morphin.
And I highly suggest everybody go look at the image.
It's great. The picture's great.
Because
it's really funny.
They're like, and these people are all awesome, but they're not the best Power Ranger costumes, which makes it even funnier. Yeah. Like the helmets are like not actual helmets.
I mean, like some people, I think they got like different underwear on. It looks like that might be aprons. That might be their work aprons.
Right. It's so funny. This is
they got
so
ball
good.
caps on and stuff. Like they don't have the masks. It's just like neck down Power Rangers.
God,
it's really funny. Yeah.
I mean, if you talk about it, like the happy accidents though, as far as like what you chose to wear to work that day.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is a Halloween thing. This is not. I'm assuming.
It's also great the way it was written too, just about like the Red Ranger.
The Red Ranger.
Yeah, that's really.
The Yellow Ranger came over. The Pink Ranger told us our food was free.
I do feel a little bad because I wish we did have real names to honor the employees of the month, but I feel like we're just gonna have to go with Power Rangers on this one.
I mean, they're all here. I mean, some of them they list a couple of them, but I can't. A lot of them.
Yeah, they refer to as the Noka Rangers. Because
it's Noko Ramen in Oakland, California. You guys are the employees of the month.
Noko Ramen Rangers.
So if you're up in the Bay Area, go
feel
get
safe.
Yourself some ramen.
Right.
Yeah, and feel safe that you know that you're in good hands.
That's right.
Morphin.
I mean, it would have been incredible though, is if the attacker did come in and then spun around 360 and then turned into a putty. You know, remember like the bad guys that were just like the gray?
Oh, that's right.
Vaguely. I didn't really watch it.
They did. Yeah. They did have weird fucking bad guys.
I mean, listen, I was a kid of a certain age, like just at the tail end of Power Rangers being like one of the big things where I was like,
my little sister was into it and my
Right.
little brother, but I was a little too old.
I was just about too old, but nerdy
You're
enough.
18? What, 18, 19?
No. I had to be like maybe 14, 13, 14. Oh, fantastic job, Rangers.
Well done. Well done.
This episode of Good Work is brought to you in part by The Chief, a New York City-based newspaper focused on municipal government, civil servants, and the important issues affecting New York State and federal employees. Visit thechiefleader.com, where you can subscribe for as little as $2.75 a month.
Classical mythologies have shaped the very world we live in.
Yeah, whatever. I don't have time for dense, dusty old books, Paul.
Great. Well, that's what podcasts are for.
Oh, good point.
Join me, Paul, as I teach my best friend and improv comedy partner, Sarah, all about mythology on Myth Understood.
Mythology is frequently explicit, obscene, violent, and bizarre, though, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot to joke about and improvise along the way?
Yes.
Oh.
So come for the mythology and stay for the absurdity on Myth Understood.
Available now at mythunderstoodpodcast.com and your podcast platform of choice.
It's misunderstood. All right, we're back from the break, and let's. You know what? We should talk about some of these election results that we
Wait,
know.
Matt. Before you get into that, I don't. For some reason, our Zoom has been. Hang on. Somebody has joined the Zoom that we're in right now. So Twitter.com. There's a Twitter.com that has joined our Zoom.
Twitter.com.
Who would have access?
Communication incoming.
Is that Elon Musk?
Starlink. Engage.
Oh no.
It's definitely him.
Holy shit. This is the second time we've had a billionaire come in and interrupt our show.
Just do whatever they want.
Yeah. Hi, Elon. Can we help you?
Hello.
We're in the middle of a show here. We're trying to talk about the election results.
Yes, you. I have engaged your Zoom meeting. I am Elon Musk.
Yeah,
We can see you. It's a video. We can see you.
You are Twitter user. Good Work Pod.
Yes, we just made a. This is what I get. This is what I get for making us a Twitter account, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I've been monitoring you. I've monitoring you. I have intercepted your communications, and I have entered your Zoom.
Okay.
Is there a reason why? What can we do for you, Elon? I know that there's a lot going on in your world right now. Clearly you have more important things to be dealing with.
I've been monitoring your podcast, your Twitter account. I heard that Bezos was on the show, and not to be outdone, I used Starlink to intercept your communications and inject myself into this conversation.
Okay.
Got it. So does this have to do with the space race between the two of you guys? You don't like the
Fucking creepy.
Bezos's blue rocket or whatever that was?
I don't like Bezos's blue rocket. I much prefer my silver SpaceX rocket. It's sleek, streamlined.
You know what? I'm glad he's here, though, actually, because I want to talk a little bit about Twitter, because you're kind of, this is a hot get, for the pod. So,
yeah, and you said you've listened to our show. You know, our show is all about, the culture and politics of working and being, a worker. And Elon, you own a lot of workers, a lot of labor.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. I've been listening to your podcast, and I've found it to be quite neo-Marxist. I am coming in to make sure that you're not bots. If you're bots, I will terminate your Twitter account.
No,
we're not bots. If anything, we're definitely parody. So therefore, we should have no reason to be banning us from any platforms or social media, anything.
Good.
And you're not wrong about the neo-Marxist thing, though.
So a neo-Marxist who knows how to label their parody as parody. What a quandary for me. Labeling, you have officially labeled this podcast as a parody. That is the first step to proving that you're not a bot. Very good.
But so you took over, one might argue hostilely, Twitter as of late.
It was hostile.
You've been banning people left and right for comedy, although you say that you're a big comedy fan.
I am a big comedy fan, and I would say that I've been banning bots, and I've made comedy legal again by destroying the bots who've been doing illegal comedy.
I mean, what about
Kathy Griffin? She's not a bot.
We are looking into it. If she's willing to pay $8, she could prove that she's not a bot.
God, is this that blue check thing? You're starting to charge for the blue check now, right?
We will be charging for the blue check because there are a number of current verified blue check accounts which may be bots, and we will find out if they are or are not, if they're willing to pay my demands, $8.
Which is $8. And let's talk about $8 because it seemed like you first wanted to charge $20.
Yes.
And then known horror writer Stephen King just said
Joe
no.
Hill's dad.
He just said no. And then you just immediately went from 20 to 8. It seems like you're supposed to be this very good businessman and financially savvy person. Seems like a really immediate buckle to less than half of your original desire.
Stephen King is one of the most powerful wills I've ever encountered.
Really?
We had a battle of wits, and unfortunately,
I don't
know
that
I was defeated in that moment.
I don't think that one tweet necessarily constitutes a battle of wits.
You just said you got to pay the bills.
The man has a number of terrifying ideas in his mind, as you can see through all the books that he's read. And
you can tell by the books he's read that he's got a terrifying mind.
that he's written. And certainly, I don't know what he's reading that makes him come up with all those scary ideas.
That's true. He has to get it from somewhere.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Musk? Are you a coffee fan?
Do I drink coffee?
You seem so low. Like, you ever tried coffee?
This is me on 10 cups of coffee.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I am the CEO of 3 different companies. I work 120 hours a week. I'm also working on a stand-up comedy album.
Oh, no. Wait. You're working on a stand-up comedy album?
Yes.
Where are you workshopping this album?
Well, I was recently in New York City to monitor the Twitter employees, see which ones were neo-Marxist bots, and expunge them from the company. I did a few open mics while I was over there. It's a very good comedy scene. They're not afraid to say some of the things that people in LA might be afraid to say.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you're a hit at the cellar.
While you bring that up, Mr. Musk, it's funny you said that because it does seem like you hang out with comedians like Joe Rogan, and
I love comedy.
Well, can I ask you about this joke? Because I don't get this joke. And you tweeted this joke recently.
Uh-huh.
So you basically said, why is small talk even legal? And then you follow that up by saying tiny talk is talk so small it feels like it's coming from your own mind. So I was just wondering if you could explain
ha ha. That's a funny joke.
That was that a real fucking was that a laugh? Is that what that was?
Yes, I'm laughing. That was small. They should call small talk tiny talk. The purpose of that joke is I was thinking about how when you're in a situation where you're at a party, you're talking to someone, that's called small talk. And it's an experience that many people find to be quite banal. And so I thought I would exaggerate the absurdity of that situation by describing it as a tiny talk. As I was exaggerating the absurdity of that, it began to hurt my brain how absurd that concept would be, and that was sort of the idea behind that joke.
All right. Well, thank God we got that figured out. Thanks, James, for asking that.
Yeah, I know.
That. Is there another? Do you have another tweet? I don't. I'm not on Twitter's personally, so I don't really see these. I don't see your funny tweets. Do you have any that you like to workshop, or some of your favorites?
So, here are some that have already been workshopped and posted. Although we are looking into we're introducing an edit button, which will allow us to continue to workshop material.
But that's only for the $8 though. People who pay the $8.
Yes, which of course I pay $8 a month for that feature.
You deduct it from your take home.
Yes,
I assume.
Yes, and it's a tax write-off. Here's one. This is the type of epic comedy that's legal now.
That's legal now. Oh, because you own Twitter, comedy's legal again.
Well, you see that Twitter used to be a realm of lords and peasants and bots, and there were three classes of people: lords, who previously had the blue verified check, and then peasants, who are everyone else who had their free speech crushed by the lords, and then bots who had free speech but are bots and therefore is illegal free speech.
But wait, hang on. The thing is that former President Trump was a verified account. He was a lord who was verified, and he did not get away with.
Well, there's a fourth class of person.
Oh, there was a fourth one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, the only
your pauses sound like you're finished. I think sometimes
that's my problem. You're right, Matt. I apologize. I'll get used to the pattern, the speech.
I think you're obsessed with bots too. Just because I'm not 100% sure you're an organic being yourself. You might be a bot.
I am an organic being. If I weren't an organic being, why would I be investing so much money into Neuralink, which will allow us to communicate through our brains only, which is something that right now human beings can't do. And so I'm trying to make that happen because I'm human, and if I were a bot already, I'd already be able to.
Yeah, it seems like a very good investment, just like Twitter was for you.
Yeah. So there's a fourth class of person, which includes me and some people who had the blue check. And to most people, they might be considered lords, but actually they're meme lords. And meme lords are good. And that's why I felt it was time for the meme lords to help the peasants crush the lords and the bots.
Oh my God.
Who are in league.
All right. I'm having a hard time following
and make comedy legal again.
Oh, okay. Comedy. So
okay.
What
all
was
that? Yeah. What were some of those tweets that you had?
Here's one. 574,000 likes. It has.
You're letting us know how many likes. Thank you for that context.
Yes, people are overjoyed to be able to experience comedy again. It's a photograph of a black T-shirt, and there's writing on the T-shirt. It's sort of like what it would look like if you were designing a custom T-shirt, and you can put writing on it on a website that allows you to do that, such as customink.com.
Not a sponsor.
The writing says, your feedback is appreciated. Now pay $8. And then it has the blue verified check mark.
Okay, how do you, don't you think that's a little antagonistic? How do you feel about people claiming that you're essentially antagonizing the very demographic, the very market that you're attempting to make money off of?
Well, I would describe it as a boundary-pushing comedy. Comedy is supposed to make people uncomfortable, and
not by by definition, no.
Yes, that's the only definition of comedy that I recognize is something that makes people uncomfortable for no reason.
Well, then, sir, you are then you are a comedian, Mr.
That's
Musk.
right.
You are absolutely
And
a comedian.
that's a meme I posted on my Twitter page. As you can see, it got 574,000 likes. So I think a lot of people seem to think it was pretty funny.
Yes. You seem to be very, very beloved by many people on Twitter.
If that one doesn't float your boat, here's another example of the type of comedy that's legal now. This one's 3 parts. This one's a tweet storm, comedy tweet storm, 3-part thread. There's 3 tweets threaded together. Rule of threes. I learned about that at these stand-up open mics in New York City.
Yes.
It's got a black and white photograph of a soldier, and he has a cage. He's carrying a cage on his back, like a backpack. The cage has 3 pigeons inside of it. Presumably, back in the olden days, messages used to be sent via pigeon. These are presumably, from the context, courier pigeons with messages attached to them.
Yeah, we understand the concept. Yes.
So this soldier has 3 courier pigeons attached to him, and on the cage there's a red iPhone notification badge with the number 3. And then in epic meme font on the image it says 3 unread messages, and then there's a caption that's not part of the photo, it's only part of the tweet, that says how times have changed.
That was 3. That's 3. Wait,
and
what?
There are 2 more tweets in the tweet storm.
That was the first one.
That's the first one. First part of this 3-part joke. Second part says back when birds were real. That one has 108,000 likes.
Oh, that was the second.
That's the second tweet in the comedy tweet thread.
Right, because birds aren't real anymore. Everybody knows that's the joke.
That and exactly correct.
Yes.
But and how absurd would it be if they were?
Yeah. Very provocative.
If they were still real, we would still be using them as courier pigeons instead of sending.
Because of course you think that all birds now are, of course,
Twitter.
Bots.
And that's actually
bots. Bots. I was getting at bots. They're clearly bots. All the birds that are in the skies now.
Well,
Yes.
let's see if that makes sense based off the third part of this 3-part comedy Twitter storm. Third part, but if Twitter is bird, that means ... head exploding emoji. So
How many likes did that one get?
that 71.9 thousand.
All right, law of diminishing returns, just slightly.
Yes. That is one thing that's difficult about the rule of threes is that you need to make sure that third one is extra surprising, which is what I was going for. And once we have the edit button fully implemented, I'll be able to edit that one into
Of course.
more surprising punchline.
So far, you have deleted tweets, even though you don't have the option to edit them. For example, you did famously delete that tweet where you shared a very unreliable source regarding the horrific attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband. So was that just a joke that you just didn't get the opportunity to edit?
Precisely.
Yeah. That's what I worried about.
And I will admit that, well, I made a mistake there.
Wow.
Yes. Part of free speech is responsibility. I take responsibility for not labeling that tweet as parody.
Oh, right. Yes, of course.
And that's what caused confusion. And I apologize for that. And actually, that's what inspired me to say all all parody comedy tweets should be labeled as such so that we avoid this type of problem.
So that's what led
just
to
like
it.
at the end, just put in parentheses parody.
Right.
That's right. If I could do it all over again, and if I had fully implemented the edit capability, I would have edited that tweet and put a parody in parentheses at the end of it and reposted it that way.
Well,
Mea culpa.
So clearly, there's a few thousand people who are really enjoying your what did you call it? A Twitter storm, a Twitter
comedy, a comedy tweet storm.
My comedy tweet storm.
Yes, your comedy tweet storm. People are. But what
Really
about behind the scenes at Twitter? The offices. You've fired a lot of people,
This is a good work podcast, and you don't seem like a very good employer.
Yeah, I mean, although you did fire the former CEO and CFO, and I think you made them both instant millionaires by doing so.
Yes, they liked that. Yeah.
So what's the problem? Why are you so mad at me?
What about everybody else?
We're not mad at you. We're not mad at you, buddy.
I can tell you're mad.
Honestly,
nobody's mad at you.
I can tell you're mad.
My mind's still blown that you're here.
Mainstream media. You're trying to gotcha me into. You said I'm a bad employer, but
I think you said you seem like a bad employer just from the outside perspective.
Yeah, tell us why you're not a bad employer. Like, kind of, change my mind.
Okay, so the sad thing is that, unfortunately, there were about half of Twitter employees were neo-Marxist bots.
Wait, the employees themselves were bots.
The employees themselves were bots. And
what?
That's the only possible explanation that I have for why the website had so many bots on it, so many neo-Marxists on it, and why comedy was illegal. Was that there were people on the inside working in cahoots with the lords to destroy free speech and privatize the digital public square.
I find it very, very hard to believe that there are actual bots working at Twitter.
Same.
Well,
how could they be? Bots are just programs.
How do you hire? How did they get hired? Where do the paychecks go?
Well, with technology today, in fact, some technologies that I'm involved with, it could be possible for a bot to take human form. I mean, we're working on this at Neuralink.
One could argue, Elon, that for somebody who hates bots so much, you actually already have created a bot in car form.
You're saying the Tesla Model 3 is a bot?
Ultimately.
A neo-Marxist.
Yes.
Comedy-hating. I've created a car that hates comedy.
Yes, you
have. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Now that I think about it, there's nothing particularly funny about the Tesla Model 3. It's self-driving. That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, like a bot would be.
That's right. There's no absurd element that's being exaggerated. You've brought up an excellent point.
Something to think about.
Excuse me, Mr. Musk. This might be a little bit of a difficult question, so I apologize ahead of time if this is a...
We asked the hard questions here. We asked the hard questions.
Yeah, we do.
Why are you so mad at me?
Buddy, honestly, you're more... I'm having a much better time talking to you than I honestly thought I ever would.
Better than Bezos? That's all I care about.
I'll say yeah. Better than Bezos. Yeah. Although, would definitely be a party to get you two together, hang out, see how you guys get along.
I'll wait to reserve my judgment until Bezos hosts SNL. I have to make a fair comparison.
Ha ha
fair.
ha 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 ha. The thought of that is so absurd.
Elon, let me ask you about your dad, if you don't mind. Your 76-year-old father who just had his second child with his stepdaughter, who is 35. That's your stepsister. And
parenthetical, not parody. This is real. This is a real thing.
Oh yeah, not parody.
Okay.
And
this is not parody. If there's anything funny about this, I will have to terminate you. agreed
Right.
that this is not parody.
We agree. This is not parody. This is real. He recently said that he was not proud of you. That the Musk family have been doing a lot of things for a long time, and it's not as if we just suddenly started doing something, was his response. And he also even claimed that he's more proud of his other son, who is a doctor. And I was just curious. I mean, that's got to be painful, hard to hear. How does that make you feel?
Wow. You know, in some ways, I'm estranged from my father, as you might know.
Right.
So there's a certain way in which he's not my father, and that in that case, if he's not my father, then for him to claim that he likes my brother more than me, or my other stepbrother who's a doctor, who is not actually my stepbrother either, if Mr. Musk is not my father. And so it would be like him it would be like him saying, I like my son more than some random guy who's the CEO of a company. And so
So you agree with him ultimately?
Well, he's saying what he's saying, and I guess I've decided that it's got nothing to do with me, since he's not really my father, and so he can't hurt me anymore, and nor and also, if he's not my father really, then we might both have the last name Musk. But when he says Musks have been doing things for a long time, he's talking about a different family of Musks.
Other Musks, right, yes.
I like to think of myself as being conceived, fully formed out of the body of Earth, a self-made man who came into this world completely alone.
Well, were you truly self-made, though? I mean, this person who may or
stranger gave you money.
may not have been your father did own like a mine.
You're saying that even
South
if he's
Africa.
not really my father, and I am a creature born completely from ex nihilo, with no familial attachments, that you're saying that it would then be the case that a stranger gave me money.
Yes, stranger Errol Musk definitely aided you.
There are some things. There are some things about my self-conception which I'm going to have to continue editing, so that I can completely erase him from my memory.
You really got to get that edit button going quickly.
I want to say that, sure, maybe someone else gave me money. Some random guy on the street gave me tens of millions of dollars and paid for me to go to Wharton and start a PhD at Stanford and then drop out. But think about all of the money I've made since then. And that's what you should focus on.
But what about the money lost, though? Right now, Twitter is losing $4 million a day, I believe.
Yes, but that was my predecessor who's responsible for that, and I am remedying that by getting rid of all the neo-Marxist bots and bringing in my cronies from Tesla, a very profitable company, to come right the ship.
But you paid $44 billion for Twitter.
Please don't remind me of that.
So you have three companies: Tesla, Twitter, and SpaceX.
SpaceX.
All right. Classic
Starlink,
question.
Neuralink.
But those are all a part of...
Those are all subsidiaries.
Yeah. Fuck, marry, kill.
Ah.
SpaceX, Tesla, and Twitter.
You familiar with this game?
I believe I've heard something of this game. I think Grimes taught it to me once.
Okay.
And I'm supposed to choose one of the three, which I like to fuck, which means sort of purely pleasurable intercourse with no...
Even though this is hypothetical and those are businesses, I'm still grossed out.
Okay, marry, fuck, kill, SpaceX, Tesla, Twitter. I would like to fuck Twitter, which is already what I'm doing right now. I'm going to get in there and get out, flip the thing for cash, strip it of all its parts, and then leave. So that's taken care of.
Can I say I commend the honesty there. I did not expect you to be that blatantly honest about your plan.
Well, I have nothing. I have nothing to hide, and that wasn't parody. So that was straight up exactly how it's going to be.
Thank you for labeling that.
Marry and kill. Well, I think I have to marry SpaceX because I consider SpaceX to be sort of my wife in the goal of populating an interplanetary civilization. And so I am married to SpaceX, and we will have children that will live on Mars and beyond. And I've made a commitment to do that. That means, unfortunately, that I have to kill Tesla, the thing that I have that does make the most money for me. But I realize that there is nothing funny about the Tesla car.
Oh,
right. Yes,
and
of course.
So it must be terminated,
and
or at the very least completely rethought from scratch.
That decision has nothing to do with the fact that you were forced to step down as the chair of the company after paying $20 million in settlements.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Didn't realize that.
You didn't know that? That wasn't. It didn't even.
There's no amount of coffee I can drink that. The amount of stuff going on in my life right now, it's hard for me to stay on top of it.
Right. Well, I mean,
if that's the case, then fuck them. I hope they die.
So you anyway. fuck. Is you fuck? Okay.
Well, kill them.
Kill them.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Right.
Mr. Musk, this has been an honor and such a weird experience.
I don't want to say thank you.
Before we go, though,
not?
I want to ask you about a comedian named James Mannion. What do you think of him?
I've been monitoring his Twitter page. He doesn't tweet very much, so
But what is his Twitter? If someone wanted to follow him,
I'm looking it up at Pizza Mannion. I'm still trying to decide if he's a neo-Marxist bot or if he is a peasant who will potentially pay $8 to be on this website. So far, I would say that his tweets are mildly amusing, usually have some sort of absurd element that is tickling to think about. And so that's all I can really say about him at this time, but we will be monitoring his Twitter account closely.
Well, that's great. And next time, if you want to come, just, DM us. Don't just show up.
Yeah.
Slide into our DMs.
Slide into your DMs.
Okay.
I don't know why
that's normally something people want to do when they want to have no strings attached intercourse, purely pleasurable, aka fucking.
You get it.
Yes.
Very good, Mr. Musk. Yeah, we look forward to having you back on. I guess whenever you feel like popping by.
I would love to. Is this the type of podcast where you occasionally spark up a doobie? That got me into trouble once.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, we will smoke some weed sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Well,
Wonderful.
thank you, Mr. Musk.
Thank you. Communication disengaging. Starlink power down.
Oh, it made a sound.
Oh, I like that sound.
Sorry, that's me when I. That's how I
was you.
sigh.
Oh,
That's
it's
how I
still.
sigh.
Oh, it's still Elon.
I'm pretty
Oh.
sure you're not. Yeah, that's
Sorry, powering down now.
okay. Man, that was weird, right?
That was truly untethered.
James, I think you're a little out of line there, asking about put him on the spot about his dad.
Yeah, he kind of.
Yeah, that felt a little cruel.
That's some
little
real,
like,
some real gotcha journalism.
Real gotcha. Yeah.
But hey, we say at the top of every show, we're not a journalist for a reason. Don't want to be held responsible like a journalist.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen.
Thank God we say that.
I never had to give some oath.
I will say that it definitely puts some stuff into perspective once you get to talk to the man. You get to look him in the eyes, and you get to see how truly broken he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he was. Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even get to all of his employees. Thought we kind of accidentally glossed over that. Like I hope he slides to our DMs because I still have a lot more questions.
Oh, I'm sure we'll hear. We haven't heard the last of Elon Musk.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Well, if you want more of that and other stuff, check out goodworkpod.com. That's the place to go to, goodworkpod.com. There you can find official merchandise if you'd like to support the show. We're not Elon Musk. We can't afford to just pay $44 billion for things. We can't afford to lose $4 million a day. We don't make much anything doing this program. So if you're enjoying the show, please consider showing your support by snagging some merchandise, a nice t-shirt, mask, mug, over at goodworkpod.com. There you can also find links to our personal social media accounts, including Twitter, for those of us who have them. And of course, a link to the Discord community, which is the best version of social media. Discord community is 300, 400 people strong at this point, and it is just a great community for all things Dragon Wagon Radio, our podcast network. Specific channels there for every individual podcast, including this one. Fun little emojis. You can reply to people with the little good work badge. It's fun. It's just a fun place to be and hang out. It's a great place to get your news as well.
Yeah, and also I'd like to give a little shout out and just a random thanks to James Mannion. If he's listening, he's a very funny comedian. And I just, for some reason, I think we should just thank him today.
Hopefully, Elon
for whatever he's doing.
Elon's been monitoring him according to what he said.
Yeah.
So hopefully, he survives the great ban, the great suspension.
Check out Pizza Mannion.
Pizza Mannion.
Right? Is that what it was?
At Twitter, yeah, Pizza
At Twitter.
Mannion.
And also email us at goodworkpod@gmail.com or call the Good Work voicemail 929-256-5151 for any sort of I quit stories or any sort, if you just want to talk.
Also, I just want to say real quick, that number, 929-256-5151, it's always on the website as well. That's also listed there. So if you listen to this and you go, oh, I'll do that one day, but then you never listen back and get the number, you can always go to the website. And it's a voicemail box. It does not ring. It is open 24 hours a day, so you can call it anytime you would like. You're not bothering anybody, and it just comes into us.
Now, is the email located on the voicemail box? So in case someone just remembers the number, but they want to email...
email is
okay. We gotta set that up. Come on, Jake.
So they have to call the voicemail to find out. Hi, I just want to know what the email is.
Yeah.
Cover every angle.
The Good Work help hotline,
and help us cover every angle by subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And lastly, consider becoming a patron on patreon.com/goodworkpod. And, maybe if you want to be a patron, you can toss us a few bucks or however that whole thing works.
We'll give you verification for $5.
There you go.
You'll get a little pick the color of the check mark.
Undercut Elon by $3.
There it is. Yeah. Make us billionaires.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Good work.
Good work.
Good work.
Dragon Wagon.